go.
This is the semi-final of the Thames Challenge Cup. Thames Rowing Club A up against Sydney Rowing Club Australia.
Oh, the roar of the A8s going off there was amazing, wasn't it? And a few bits of the wind just catching a few blades there, but everyone's linking it up, and I hope those little ducks get out of the way quick enough. But this is, God, what a great start from both crews. I know this is going to be a big showdown between the London crew of Thames Rowing Club and Sydney Rowing Club.
Huge race here for Sydney. It's the last of the Sydney crews left in the regatta program. They were absolutely dominant against Molesey yesterday, but Thames here fast starting. They know they need to get themselves in this race. Yesterday, Sydney really blasted out over Molesey, shutting the race down hard and fast early. But Thames have perhaps learnt from that, and they are absolutely throwing it to them in these early stages of the race.
Yeah, both these crews have taken out some big scalps already, haven't they? With Sydney taking down Molesey yesterday, and the Thames crew taking out the Münchner crew from Germany. You know, this is brilliant. And what I love about this is the coach from the lead coach from Thames Rowing Club. His saying that he says to his crews is assume nothing. And in this race, we can really can assume. You can't take anything for granted here. Both these crews are really well matched. This is fantastic.
Well, I'm really impressed here. I don't know that I expected to see Thames take the race in this way this early over Sydney. I mean, this race is going to start to play out through the middle section now as both crews get onto their race rhythm, but Thames are throwing down the gauntlet early.
Oh, they have indeed. They're really hungry for this, aren't they? That's fantastic to see. Just getting a bit more grip on the water there, aren't they, in the tailwind, in that sort of cross tail, and just shoving it out, and got that little bit of lead, which in an 8 can just help the crew relax so much more, doesn't it?
It's interesting, Sydney doesn't look quite as aggressive as they did yesterday out at the start. I'm not sure if they've changed up their plan or what that's for, but Thames really, you could see from the first stroke, they really showed up to try and take this race early. So let's see how this unfolds through the middle section. A great shot there, looking back down the course on both crews. This is absolutely neck and neck. The umpire launch following, looks like Matt Pinson is the umpire for this race.
Yeah, I guess Thames have that experience on board. There's quite a few of these guys raced last year and won the final, and lost to Molesey last year in the final. So I guess, you know, taking that nothing for granted mentality, they've really taken it to Sydney Rowing Club here, and they've given themselves a really good position to command this race as they come into the halfway mark.
Both of these crews very well experienced here at Henley Regatta. Patrick Torns, the stroke seat of the Thames crew. 7 previous appearances at Henley. In the 5-seat, Charles Gosling, 6 previous appearances. And having raced here before does make a difference, doesn't it?
Definitely. You just get a feel for the quirks of the course and dealing with the conditions, which we've seen so much variability with this week. You know, you just build that experience and apply it and learn from it. And I mean, yeah, Thames have done a great job here, because we were probably expecting this to be a bit closer all the way down the track, but they have really stamped down their authority here on the Sydney Rowing Club crew.
I was speaking to Franz Imfeld this morning, the coach of the Molesey crew that was beaten by Sydney yesterday, and in fact he used to coach with Don Check at Sydney Rowing Club, and his appraisal after that race was that Sydney were the crew to beat. He certainly didn't expect for Thames to be leading by over a length at this point in the race. What a turn-up this is.
No, exactly. I think we're all a bit stunned, aren't we? Which is maybe what's happened to the Sydney crew a little bit. It does look like they're getting back into the groove of things here, and maybe starting to claw back a bit more ground off the Thames Rowing Club crew. So this could hot up as we get up to the enclosures.
That is a big ask to close up at this point in the race over a clear water lead that Thames had, but the momentum to me looks like it's with Thames. They're super sharp through the front, really aggressive. Sydney are going to have to do something pretty special here to get back into this race.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Sarah. They looked, those guys looked like they were hungry. They were giving it something. They looked like they were enjoying it, didn't they?
You can see the grimaces there on the face of the Sydney crew. In the stroke seat, Bradley Graham, 20 years of age. Sydney are stepping, they're looking to close the gap. I think they have overlap with Thames here now, very close to. So Sydney have a length to make up. Can they sprint? Can they get home?
Yeah, they've really shifted the gears up a bit there, haven't they, in the Sydney Rowing Club crew, which is great to see, and you need to do that. Just will they have enough track to do it?
We see a little look across there from Miles Harold in the bow seat, 21 years of age. I think the momentum is with Sydney here. They look aggressive. We can see their catches going in. Thames perhaps looking a little bit tired. It's going to come down to the dying stages.
They have definitely sprung into life a bit more, haven't they, the Sydney Rowing Club crew? Maybe a little bit more sedate, a little bit down the course, but they are on fire now. This is going to, yeah, as you say, it's definitely closing up. This is a great race now.
Thames desperately throwing everything at it. They've been brave. They threw it out there early. Sydney driving the rate up. They're trying to push, but they're going to run out of room here. It is going to be Thames. They have the lead. Can Sydney fight back in the dying strokes?
Oh, phenomenal effort there by the Thames crew. They've really responded well to that push from Sydney Rowing Club and just really held on to that lead well, haven't they?
Thames take the win in the Thames Challenge Cup, defeating Sydney Rowing Club. Absolutely gutting for the boys from Australia. Thames go through to the final of the Thames.
Patrick Twans there in the stroke seat of the Thames crew, looking around and giving his crew a big thumbs up there. Well done, guys. That was good. That was a very clever strategy there to go out very hard and take the sting out of Sydney Rowing Club's tail quite early on, wasn't it? They really gave them the upper hand in managing that race down the course.
And they would have seen how they raced against Molesey yesterday, and Sydney was so aggressive and so decisive to take that race. They had that real hunger. Didn't quite see that same intensity out of the blocks.